I love immersive sims. From classics like System Shock and Thief, to more modern imp sims like Prey and Cruelty Squad. I just love my imp sims. Give me my Stalker, give me my Deus Ex, give me my Pathologic. I played them all. Or at least I played most of them. I haven't played No One Lives Forever or Dishonored yet, but in my defense, I haven't been able to find a way to play No One Lives Forever. But regardless, I always loved looking at old immersive sims, seeing how the subgenre has evolved over time. This is actually how I first got into System Shock. Well, that and it was dirt cheap. It took a while to get used to controls, but once it finally clicked, it quickly became one of my favorites. The story was great, the way they were able to create a 3D environment back in 1993, all the cool equipment you could collect, and of course, cyberspace. A wonderful experience that, while being very dated, I'd argue it has stand the test of time. But of course, System Shock wasn't actually the first immersive sim, or proto-im sim, depending on how you look at it. No, the first was Ultima Underworld. So, let's dive into Ultima Underworld, the Stygian Abyss.
Treachery and doom. My brother would unleash a great evil. Britannia is in peril. A visitor, and from far away indeed. Were he not dead, I'd suspect my brother sent thee. No matter. Thou shalt serve to draw the hounds from the scent.
Wait, I'm sorry, who is your brother? Is he the guy I saw in my dreams?
Below, a creature heads toward the dark woods, a thrashing sack slung over its massive shoulder. You explain that you are the Avatar, and that you are innocent.
I'm the Avatar, but what's that? Okay, I guess we're just not going to explain any of that, okay?
It's only entrance. Once it is locked, none can pass. I will shut thee in and stand guard till I hear Ariel's voice from within.
I feel like I'm missing very important context. So, I made a fatal mistake. You see, it turns out that Ultima Underworld isn't a spin-off of Ultima, but in fact a continuation of the series story. So basically, I tried jumping into the middle of a series I knew nothing about. So we're gonna have to go back to the olden days, to the times before Carmack, all the way back to 1981's Ultima. Yes, I'm playing through all the Ultimas just so I can play Underworld 1 and 2. Deal with it. Ultima 1, The First Age of Darkness. Wow, this game is old. Okay, so I'm gonna hit A to create a new character. Okay, I've 10 everything, and I have 30 points to distribute among my stats. Now sure, I could probably look up what the best character build is, but I always prefer going in blind when it comes to RPGs. Okay, so I went with these stats. I want to focus on my intelligence, charisma, and agility. And spread some points out to the rest of them, just so I don't have any weak or terrible stats. Hopefully this plan works out. Ooh, I get to choose my race. Okay, I'll go with, elf. Why not? Cool, I'll be a man. Ooh, I get to pick my class. Well, I'll go with the thief, seeing as agility, charisma, and intelligence are my highest stats. And I'll name him Ocean, because that's my name. Yes, I want to save my character. Okay, so how do I start the game? Do I choose continue previous game? Because I want to start a new game, not continue an old one. Oh, okay, so what it really meant was choose a pre-existing character. Okay, yeah, I'll be me. So I start on an open field. At least I think so, it's hard to tell. But regardless, the journey of Ocean begins. I went west and met the king of Britannia, where he gave me a quest to find the grave of the lost soul, whatever that is. And after buying some food, equipment, and getting the shit beaten out of me by guards because I tended to steal some extra food, I left and entered my first dungeon. And wow, this is impressive. Okay, so I know it doesn't look that impressive, but for 1981, this is amazing pseudo 3D. And I got jumped by some enemies and died. Okay, in my defense, the controls in this game are utter garbage. Like, they just reek of early PC gaming. Like, arrow keys to move I can deal with, but, you know, press E to enter, T to transact, K to climb ladders, O to open coffins, U to unlock chests and doors, and so on. Basically, every action has its own key, including mounting a horse and dismounting a horse. That one really pisses me off because you just have to be the same key. This makes this game a nightmare for people who don't memorize where every key is on their keyboard, especially when I also have to remember what every key does. So after many attempts of trying to defeat the dungeon, I decided it would be best to restart and build a better character. Hello, my name is Ocean II, I'm a human, and I have even stat distributions. Okay, so talk to the king, buy some better armor, go into the dungeon, kill some enemies, get some gold, head back to town, buy some better weapons and a horse, return to the dungeon, get lost, die. Yeah, I really don't feel like playing any more of this. Mostly because of the controls, and how slow you are to turn around. Like, there were multiple moments where I took way more damage than I should have because it took me forever to turn around and face the enemy. Especially when the game would just not register my inputs. Which leads to me spamming it and, oh look, I panicked and overshot it and turned away from the enemy again. And, look, I just can't keep playing this, I'll go insane. You know what? No. Fuck it. I'm going to look up how to play this game properly, and I'm going to beat it. I won't let anything stop me. So, after wandering around for a little bit, I found out that if I give the king money, he'll increase my hit points. I also found out from researching the game that I can get health by entering a dungeon, killing some enemies, and then leaving. I also found out that I level up after every 1000 XP, and that leveling up does jack shit. All it does is add more enemies to the overworld and adds items to the shop. Speaking of, I realized that they sold an air car in the transportation shop, which I really wanted to buy. So I started grinding, and eventually I had enough, only to see that the shop now had a shuttle, which was slightly more money. So I saved up even more for the shuttle, and holy shit, that is a fucking space shuttle.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Space. The final frontier. I think. I don't know. As a Carmaxian, I hesitate to trust anything William Shatner says due to his many crimes. Anyways, I have no idea how to fly this thing! Oh, Carmack, why did I think this would be a good idea? And I crashed and burned. Great. Now, sure, you could argue that this is my fault for purchasing a space shuttle and hopping in without learning how to fly, but I would argue that giving the player a brand new control scheme and placing them right in front of something that if they bump into it enough times will kill them is shit game design. Now, I'm not gonna freak out about this. Oh please, Carmack, I ask of you to give me strength in these times of hardship. I beg of thee, please help me. Okay, I'm calm now. So I'm going to avoid the shuttle until I know I need it. I'm going to go back to my original plan of getting the airship, or air car, pretty sure that's an airship, and using it to find the grave the king wants me to find. I have a goal, and I have a plan to reach it. Let's go. Okay, so I acquired the air car. It's, yeah, it's a car that flies. That's a bit weird. Still, anyways, to adventure! Okay, I couldn't find the grave. However, it turns out that finding it is a side quest, so fuck that shit. Besides, I found an actual main quest. This king has asked me to kill a gelatinous cube. Now, this isn't a boss waiting at the end of the dungeon, this is just a regular enemy that spawns on floors 3 and 4. So I found an easy dungeon, went down to level 3, and then unequipped my armor because I heard that the gelatinous cube can eat armor, and I'm not risking that. Killed it, now I return to the king, and he tells me that the time machine requires all 4 gems to activate it. And then he gives me one of those gems. Wait, I'm sorry, what was that about a time machine? Oh, are we just not going to talk about the time machine? You can't just casually mention a fucking time machine like it's a normal thing! Okay. That's it. I'm taking my air car, and I'm getting the fuck out of this hellhole. Ah, a new continent. Hello, kingly person. Say, you have a gem as well. Pray tell what service I can do for you in exchange for said gem. Kill a lich? Sure, how hard can that be? So a lich spawns only on floors 7 and 8 of a dungeon. In other news, I love my air car. Most enemies have a hard time hitting me from up here, but I can hit them just fine. It's fast, it can traverse over sea. Oh yeah, I also learned how to properly attack. You see, it's not as simple as pressing the attack button and the enemy gets attacked. No, you have to press the attack button, then while the attack command has this moving symbol on it, you can select one of 4 directions to attack, and apparently the ranged weapons are more complex. Hence why I will never use them. Also, if you see a gravestone or a sign or whatever in the overworld, make a beeline to it, as they give you stat boosts. Also, funnily enough, you may get stat boosts from respecting the dead, but that doesn't mean you can't go into crypts and bust open a casket to loot the deceased. Anyways, there's 2 other castles where the kings will tell you to kill a Carrion Creeper, which spawns on floors 5 and 6, and a Balron, which spawns on floors 9 and 10. I recommend talking to all of them before embarking on the quest. I also recommend stocking up on both ladder up and ladder down spells. These are single-use spells that can summon a ladder that you can use one time to go up and down respectively. So after getting a bunch of hit points and food because there are some enemies that can steal your food, and when your food hits 0, you die. So I went down, got my armor eaten by gelatinous cube, killed it, changed my armor, went down a few more levels, killed a Carrion Creeper, descended some more, killed a Lynch, dug straight down, killed a Balron without referencing that scene from Lord of the Rings, and then spammed the up ladder spell until I was out of this Carmack forsaken place. Now I just gotta find the 4 castles that have the gems. Now while wandering around, I found the Lost Grave! And I was able to, after many hours of running around in circles, find the king that had asked me to find it. And I got +8 strength from it. Not bad. A pretty good reward. I went around and did some of the other quests while I was lost and running around, and they all gave +8 strength, which is far from a bad reward for finding specific locations, especially when those locations already give you stat boosts. But that's besides the point. I returned to the castles. A princess will help a space ace through time. Well, that's interesting. The time machine must be used in order to win. Okay, I kind of figured that out already. Oh, so I can take 9 items from the storage room. Okay. Where's the storage room? Actually, how do I pick up items? I've only been able to get items from stores and by looting the dead. Okay, so I have no idea what to do next, or even what my goal is. You know, I think it's time. Time to read ye old manual. Nice artwork. Ah, here it is. The adventure. Hail, noble one, our land is in need of a stalwart hero. One who will brave perils too horrific to consider. A plague has befallen the realm. A scourge is upon the land. Okay, sorry, but whenever I hear the word scourge, I can't help but think of evil green Sonic. Anyway, to make a long story told in Old English short, evil wizard Mundane has plagued the realm with evil monsters, insanity, wilting crops, and so on. The nobles are too busy trying to use the crisis for their own self-gain to help the people, except for Lord British, who is looking for a hero to save the day, because he sure as fuck doesn't want to get his hands dirty, so why not risk the life of a complete stranger? Apparently, before we can kill Mundane, and save the realm, we must be tested in the furthest reaches of the heaven, which is probably space. We can also talk to barkeepers to get more info about the world around us. So I guess that's something. Okay, I didn't get footage of it, but one of the barkeeps mentions that in order to become a space ace, you have to hunt down aliens, which means I have to grind enough to buy the shuttle again. Okay, head to town, buy a shuttle, save the game before entering the shuttle. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 1, blast off. Now to dock at the space station, because I heard that I can get a better ship there. I keep trying to dock at the space station, and yet every time I just bump off it. Oh great, I'm out of fuel now. Oh great, I'm out of shields now. Oh great, I'm dead. Good thing I saved beforehand, otherwise I have to do all that grinding again. Okay, so apparently I need 500 coins to cover the docking fees. So, back to grinding. Okay, I've docked, I got a new ship, and I crashed and burned. Good thing I saved. Press I to scan the area, turn to face the direction you want to go. Earth is in the center of the map, and the areas marked with H are where the aliens are. Press V to switch hyperdrive. Wow, that's a cool effect. I like it. What I don't like is this combat. You have to go into front view and use the arrow keys to move the crosshair around, and press F to fire the laser guns. However, these little TIE fighters fly around quickly and disappear after a random amount of time, making shooting them down an exercise in futility. And of course, I wasn't able to become a space ace before I started to run low on fuel. And because the shuttle is the only ship able to land on the planet, and in order to change ships or refuel, I have to pay a 500 coin docking fee, which means I had to grab the shuttle and head back to Earth and do, guess what, more fucking grinding. Okay, so I found some things out. First, you can press space to return your crosshair to the center of the screen. Second, that when the TIE fighters are around the corner of the screen, then don't bother trying to shoot them. And third, you can spam the laser. This made becoming a space ace slightly more bearable. Anyways, thou hast achieved the rank of space ace. Fucking finally. Now I just have to get back to Earth. Alright, now to find the princess. So every castle I visit has had a princess in the castle prison. There's also been a jester dancing around singing, "I have the key." So naturally I slit the jester's throat open because I just want this to be over with, and I couldn't give two shits about the people of this kingdom at this point. So I kill him, take the key, kill some guards who rightfully attacked me because I murdered a man in cold blood right in front of them, and I go to save the princess. Thou hast not the correct key. What do you mean? Okay, so it turns out that whether or not the jester has the key you need is completely random. Or at least as far as I know. In my experience, it's about a 1 in 5 chance. Meanwhile, online, I found people saying that they tried it over 20 times without getting the correct key. Who designed this bullshit? Like, I tend not to get angry over a game. Like, sometimes I don't enjoy something and then over-exaggerate and use hyperbole to make myself sound angry. But this time, I'm actually pissed. Like, I get that this game is old, and because of that, I excuse a lot of the game's dated design. Sure, having to remember 15 buttons is annoying, but these were the early days of PC gaming. Nothing is explained to the player? Well, that's because it's an old game that requires you to read the manual. There's too much grinding? Welcome to every old RPG, ever. But this isn't a technical limitation of the time. This is just sadistic game design. After the third attempt, most players would just assume that murdering the jester for this key is the wrong thing to do and try something else. Eventually, after much trial and error, I finally rescue the princess, who rewards me with 500 hit points, coins, and XP. All of which is nice, but since I'm already at max level, the XP is useless to me. And then she says something, but the text box disappears before I can read it, because for some fucking reason this text box is timed, unlike every other text box in the game. Good thing I was recording this. She informs thee that thou art now ready for time travel, and there is a time machine far to the northwest. Finally, I can find the time machine that was hinted at so long ago. Just have to go northwest on this giant map that loops. Oh boy, this is gonna be a fucking nightmare, isn't it? Oh, it's right there. Okay, credit where it's due. I'm glad they made the time machine stand out. But I lost a lot of hit points while trying to rescue the princess, so I'm gonna spend the last of my coins on hit points. Okay, time to travel. Entering the craft thou dost remark upon the 4 holes marked R, G, B, W. The proper gems fit in each hole. Further examination leads thee to 2 discoveries. There is a button marked launch, and thou art locked in, with nothing to do but press it. Well, nothing to it but to do it. As soon as thou hast pressed the large black button, lights begin to dance across the control screen. Generators shake the very floor beneath thy feet. The small craft begins to tremble and rattle as thy journey through time begins. After but a few moments thou dost feel a strong magic pulling thee from the craft. A moment later, thou art face to face with the evil Mundane himself. Good luck, this is it. I stand in this realm of darkness at the beginning of time. I see Mundane and rush towards him, grabbing the gem of darkness in front of him and smashing it to pieces. The resulting blast almost ending my life. I gather whatever strength remains in my body and steel my nerves as I charge at the Archmage, cutting him to pieces, only for his body to disappear in a puff of smoke as the cowardly wizard had shapeshifted into a bat in an attempt to escape his fate. Come here, come here, no, come here, you little fucking piece of shit, fucking come here, fucking get over here! After a long game of cat and mouse, he is slain. Probably would have been quicker if I brought a bow and arrow with me instead of just having to chase him down with a sword, but regardless. Thou art victorious. A rain of silver lightning heralds the death of Mundane. Fleeting glimpses of fates avoided rush through as screams echoes in thy ears. 1,000 years pass in but a moment's time as a strange sleep overcomes thee. Upon awakening, thou dost find thyself in new surroundings. A stately youth in violet robes helps thee to thy feet, whereupon thou dost see the thousands who gaze upon thee in admiration. Thy selfless heroism hath saved our people, my worthy one. Should our gratitude alone not be enough to sustain thee, know that I, Lord British, hereby ordain that the entire realm of Sosaria be at thy service for all time henceforth. So let it be done. Yeah, you know what? I actually kind of liked the final boss with Mundane. It was multi-phase and even had a bit of a puzzle during the first phase with having to ignore Mundane and instead destroy the black gem he was using to shield himself. Sure, it's short, but it's more engaging than the rest of the game's combat. Is it worth playing through the entire game to fight him? Hell fucking no. I had multiple moments where I just wanted to stop playing and do something else. The game is brutal, overly punishing, confusing to the point where even if you know what to do, you'll still get lost. And last but not least, it's just not fun. It's mostly grinding, and that's never fun, and the story is very lack. Like, I still don't know if the time machine takes you forward in time to fight Mundane, or back in time to stop him before he can corrupt the realm, or if the time machine even sends you through time at all. There's just not much of substance here, and what is there is repetitive and frustrating. Here's hoping these issues are fixed in Ultima 2, The Revenge of the Enchantress. But that is a tale for another time. Hey, hope you enjoyed the video. I wanted to make something shorter as an apology for suspending the Golden Souls 2 video indefinitely. But yeah, I originally wanted to do a longer video on Ultima Underworld, but then I decided to do all the Ultimas, but then I decided to just do individual videos for each game. So this way I have some shorter videos coming out in between larger projects. As always, let me know what you think of my audio for this video. It's the one thing I haven't nailed down yet. Also, let me know what you thought of the little animation I made. I mean, it's not high quality, but I think it's serviceable enough. Here's hoping I can continue to make videos in a timely fashion. No promises though.